I came home from work to see my husband dangling our baby over the balcony. I fumble with my keys at the apartment door, shoulders aching from the day's work. The door swings open to darkness. That's odd. Ryan always leaves a light on for me. Ryan? Hello. I call softly as I step in, expecting to hear the coo of our baby daughter or the clatter of my husband in the kitchen. But the air is heavy and silent. A prickle of dread travels up my arms. I take another step inside, and that's when I see it. My heart stops mid-beat. Across the living room, the balcony doors stand wide open, curtains fluttering in the night breeze. And there, silhouetted against the city lights, is my husband. He's standing at the railing, arms extended outward. In his hands is our baby. He's dangling our infant daughter over the balcony edge. For a second, my brain flatlines. This must be a nightmare. I blink hard. The scene doesn't change. Ryan's back is to me, his figure rigid, one hand clutching Mia's tiny body, the other supporting her head, as if he's presenting her to the void beyond. A low, disbelieving whimper escapes my throat. Ryan. I whisper, voice cracking. My legs feel rooted to the floor. Fear surges through me so fast, I taste metal. The distance between us yawns like a chasm. One wrong move, one startled twitch, and my baby could slip from his hands. Mia gives a small, fragile cry. She's alive, squirming in his grip. The sound snaps me into action. Ryan. I say again, louder this time, fighting to keep my voice steady. Please, what are you doing? Please bring her back in. He doesn't turn. The night air gusts around him, ruffling his hair, but he remains still. My heart hammers so loudly I'm sure he can hear it. I inch forward, palms out. Every muscle in my body screams to lunge and snatch our daughter away from that ledge, but I force myself to move slowly. If I startle him, if he loses his grip, no, I can't risk it. Hot tears blur my vision. Honey, let's talk, okay? I call out gently. Come on, let's go inside. Please. The words tumble out, coated in raw desperation. At last, Ryan shifts. He half turns his head, just enough that I glimpse his profile in the faint streetlight. His jaw is clenched, eyes dark hollows. I don't recognize this expression at all. It's like a stranger has taken over my husband's face. His voice, when it comes, is eerily calm. Stay right there, he says quietly. Don't come any closer. He lifts Mia a little higher over the drop. My stomach lurches. I freeze mid-step, hands trembling in the air. My baby dangles precariously over 30 feet of nothingness. One slip, one moment of madness. I can't breathe. I'm standing in the doorway of my own home, watching my husband threaten to drop our child into the void. How did we get here? And how am I going to save her? Okay. I'm not moving. I manage, barely above a whisper. My hands stay up in surrender. My whole body is shaking now, a fine tremor that starts in my knees and jolts up my spine. Just, please, put Mia back in her crib, or hand her to me. Let's talk inside, all right? We can fix whatever this is. A sharp, bitter laugh cuts through the darkness. It spills from Ryan's lips like something broken. Fix it, he repeats, voice cracking on the words. You have no idea, do you? My heart clangs against my ribs. No idea about what? My mind scrambles for answers. He's never acted like this. Just this morning, he kissed me goodbye and promised to pick up groceries on his way home. There were no signs, no warning that anything was wrong. Ryan, you're scaring me, I whisper. The wind has picked up, whipping a strand of my hair into my eyes. I blink it away, never taking my gaze off his silhouette. My husband's shoulders are hunched forward as he grips our baby girl. In the dim light, I see his arms trembling. Whether from effort or emotion, I can't tell. Mia's fragile cry builds into a wail, high-pitched and terrified. The sound slices through me. She's cold out there. She's scared. She needs her mother. She needs her father, too. Please, I choke out, voice raw. She's just a baby, Ryan. Whatever's going on, she doesn't deserve this. Let her go, please. He presses Mia against his chest for a moment, almost cradling her, and for an instant hope flares in me. He's listening. He won't hurt her. He can't. This is Ryan, the man who spent months painting her nursery sunshine yellow, who danced with her in the living room just last night to lull her to sleep. My lip quivers. Remember? You sing, Twinkle, Twinkle Little Star, and she calms right down. I say softly, clinging to the memory. She loves that. You're her dada. She trusts you. His back stiffens as if I struck him. Trust. He mutters, the word dripping with bitterness. I catch a glimpse of his face reflected in the balcony glass door. His eyes shine wet. He's crying. Ryan. I step forward again, 1 foot over the threshold of the balcony door now. My shaking fingers grasp the doorframe for balance. One slow step at a time. Just get close enough to reach them. Suddenly, he swings around to face me fully. Mia dangles in the crook of his arm, over empty air. I stifle a scream. He holds out his other hand toward me like a stop sign. Don't. One more step, Lisa, and I swear to God I'll drop her. His voice is hollow, strangled. I freeze, my foot still lifted in mid-step. Slowly, I set it back down, retreating half an inch. My hands are raised again, trembling. Across the 10 feet between us, my husband's eyes bore into mine. They're wild, a storm of fury, hurt, and something like heartbreak. That's it, he breathes. Stay right there. You don't get to come closer. You don't get to touch her. Not after what you've done. What I've done. A bolt of confusion cuts through my terror. I search his face, desperate for some hint of the man I know. I don't understand. I stammer. What did I do? Ryan, please, talk to me. We can work this out, whatever it is. He laughs again, a ragged sound. Work this out, he repeats under his breath, almost to himself. He looks down at our screaming daughter, his expression twisting. Mia's tiny arms flail in the night air. My own arms ache to hold her, to keep her safe. I used to believe that, Ryan says quietly. His gaze lifts back to mine, and it's like staring into a void. I thought we could work through anything. Every couple has rough patches, right? He huffs bitterly. I would have forgiven you for the lies, eventually, for keeping me in the dark. But now it's too late. My pulse throbs in my throat. Lies. Forgiven me? My head reels. What is he talking about? My thoughts are a disjointed jumble, flipping through countless possibilities. None of them make sense. We promised to be honest with each other, Lisa. He continues, voice rising unevenly. We promised, damn it. He's shouting now, and Mia shrieks at the sudden thunder of his voice. My husband winces, jostling her slightly as he adjusts his grip. Careful, I cry out, panic spiking as her leg slips an inch through his arm. He steadies her, but the jolt sends a fresh sob tearing out of my chest. Ryan, please, just give her to me. I'm begging you. His face crumples. For a split second, I see agony there. He loves her, I remind myself. Despite everything, he loves her. Then why is he doing this? I don't dare voice the question aloud. I'm walking a razor's edge here. One wrong word, and my baby dies. A sudden banging noise erupts from somewhere below us. A door slamming, or maybe a neighbor down on the street shouting up. The disturbance shatters the taut silence. Ryan's head snaps toward the sound. Time slows to molasses. His momentary distraction is like an opening, a fissure in this terrible standoff. My muscles coil, instinct screaming at me to seize the chance. I could rush him while he's not looking. I could maybe grab Mia, pull her to safety. But he's already turning back, and I see his grip on our daughter tighten. He holds her out farther over the drop, his own body leaning dangerously over the rail. A warning. No. I gasp, my outstretched fingers curling into fists of helplessness. I force myself still again. If I rush him and he reacts wrong, I can't finish the thought. My vision tunnels black at the edges. Above the distant city noise, I hear a new sound, sirens. Faint but growing louder. Someone must have seen us and called for help. Thank God. But when Ryan hears it, he doesn't look relieved. His eyes widen in panic. They're coming, he rasps. Of course they are. You brought them, didn't you? No, I didn't. I protest, swallowing hard. I have no idea who called, but it wasn't me. I've barely breathed, let alone grabbed my phone. He doesn't seem to hear me. Ryan's gaze darts around frantically. His feet shuffle backward until he's pressed against the railing with our child held out over the void. My stomach churns. Ryan, it's okay, I say quickly. They just want to help us. No one's here to hurt you. Please stay calm. Let me take Mia, and we can sort everything out. I promise. Lies. He spits the word, voice cracking. More lies. I can't trust anyone, not even myself. The sirens wail closer. Blue lights flicker faintly in the street below. They'll be here any second. Ryan's face twists, torn and desperate. For the first time, I see fear in his eyes. Not just anger or hurt. Raw, animal fear. Please. My own voice is barely audible over the blood rushing in my ears. Tears stream down my cheeks now unchecked. You don't have to do this. Whatever it is, we can face it together. We love you, Ryan. I love why. Stop. His voice breaks on the word. Just don't. He presses his forehead to Mia's for a moment. She's still crying, little sobs hitching. The sight is so tender and so terrifying I can hardly stand. Red and blue lights dance off our living room walls now. A voice echoes from below through a megaphone. Sir, this is the police. Please remain calm. We are coming upstairs to assist. Do not do anything dangerous. Ryan flinches at the voice. In that instant, I see him make a decision. His eyes lock onto mine one last time, and they are full of sorrow. I'm sorry, he whispers. Then he pivots, clutching our baby tightly to his chest, and bolts through the balcony doorway into the apartment, rushing straight toward me. I barely have a second to react. One moment, he's on the balcony. The next, he's charging straight at me through the doorway. I see nothing but my baby bundled in his arms and his face twisted in determination. He slams into me shoulder first. Pain explodes through my collarbone as I'm knocked off balance. My outstretched hands grasp desperately at his shirt, his arm, anything. For a heartbeat, I clutch the fabric of his sleeve. Don't do this, I cry, yanking with every ounce of strength I have. Please, please, give me Mia. Ryan wrenches free with a snarl. Get off me, he barks. His elbow catches my jaw and stars burst in my vision. I taste blood. I stumble, losing my grip. In the blur of motion, I see Mia's face inches from mine as he pushes past. Her cheeks are wet, mouth open in a wail. Our eyes meet for one agonizing second. Then she's carried away, her small form disappearing as Ryan hurtles through the apartment door into the hallway beyond. No, I scream, scrambling up and nearly slipping on the polished wood floor. My shoulder throbs where he struck me. Dizziness washes over me, but I force myself to run. The hallway tilts and spins as I give chase. I glimpse Ryan's back at the far end, sprinting toward the stairwell. Stop! I shriek. Somebody stop him. He has my baby. My cries echo off the corridor's walls. A door opens. Mrs. Hernandez from 3B pokes her head out, eyes wide. I fly past her, bare feet slapping the cold floor. Call 911. I shout hoarsely. My baby, he's taken my baby. I hear her gasp and retreat into her apartment, presumably to make the call. I keep running, adrenaline fueling me past the throbbing pain in my jaw. Ryan slams through the stairwell door, kicking it open so hard it bounces off the wall. By the time I reach it, my lungs are burning. I nearly trip on the stair as I look down the spiraling flights. Far below, a shadowed figure with a bundle in his arms descends rapidly. Mia, I sob, my voice cracking against the concrete stairwell. My vision blurs with tears and panic. I start down, but my legs wobble, threatening to collapse. I force myself to focus. Grip the handrail. One step at a time. Go. I half run, half stumble down the stairs, the metal railing slick under my sweaty palm. My heart pounds at my ribs, each beat a desperate chant. Save her, save her, save her. 2 floors down, I catch another glimpse of him turning on a landing. He's moving so fast, too fast. How is he holding onto her safely? Terror stabs at me. If he trips, if he falls with her. The image of them tumbling down a flight of stairs flashes in my mind, and I nearly vomit. Ryan, please. I scream into the echoing stairwell. Don't hurt her. Stop. His footsteps do not slow. If anything, I hear them go faster. I push harder, my bare feet slapping painfully on each step. My shoulder and jaw ache, but I hardly feel it over the adrenaline and fear. Suddenly, above the pounding of my own steps, I hear other footfalls, coming from below. Voices. I burst through the stairwell door onto the ground floor lobby, just in time to see a chaos of movement. 2 police officers are sprinting in through the building's front entrance, radios crackling. Beyond them, red and blue lights strobe across the windows. They must have arrived moments ago and heard the commotion. There. He went that way, a man's voice yells. It's Mr. Lee from 2A, standing by the open front door, pointing down the street. The officers dash outside, and I follow, my chest heaving. Cold night air hits my sweat-soaked skin as I stumble onto the sidewalk. I spin wildly, searching the shadows. Then I see him. Ryan is about half a block ahead, running down the sidewalk with a wild, loping gait, our baby clutched to his chest. An officer shouts, "Stop right there," and gives chase. For one hopeful second, I think the police will catch up, but Ryan veers suddenly between 2 parked cars and into the street. The second officer calls into his radio, and I realize they're coordinating to cut him off down the block. A screech of tires. Ryan leaps back onto the curb as a car nearly hits him. My heart leaps into my throat. He almost stumbled. Oh God, if he had fallen with Mia. I break into a run toward them, though my legs threaten to buckle. Ryan, I cry out, voice shredded. He doesn't even glance back. He dashes across the street during a brief break in traffic. One of the officers is caught on the opposite side by a passing delivery truck, momentarily losing ground. The other is circling around the block to trap him from the front, but Ryan is fast, fueled by desperation. I'm trailing far behind, barefoot and lightheaded, sobbing as I run. The night is alive with city noise now. Honking horns, the wail of sirens, shouts of alarm. People on the sidewalk stare as I stagger past. He has my baby. I scream at a couple gaping from a bus stop. Please help. But no one knows what to do. They shrink back, some pulling out phones to call for help or record the chaos. Up ahead, Ryan vaults over a low hedge separating the sidewalk from an alleyway. I see his silhouette briefly against a street lamp before he disappears into the narrow lane. The officer in pursuit swears and dives after him. I reach the hedge seconds later, chest heaving and vision swimming. My bare feet skid on wet leaves as I nearly collide with the brick corner of the alley entrance. Darkness stretches ahead between towering walls. For a heart-stopping moment, I don't see them at all. Panic claws at my throat. Where are they? Then, a flash of movement. Further down the alley, a dark shape darts behind a dumpster. Ryan. The officer is only steps behind him, gun drawn and flashlights slicing through the shadows. My pulse surges. They're heading for the far end of the alley, towards the next street. I push off the wall and follow as fast as my wobbling legs allow. Suddenly, an engine roars to life, loud in the confined space. Headlights flare at the far end. A car bursts out from behind the alley's corner, tires squealing on pavement. It's our car. Ryan must have parked it behind our building earlier. No, I scream as the cruiser's beams briefly illuminate his face through the windshield. 1 second later, the sedan swerves around the corner and is gone with a screech, taillights disappearing into the night. The pursuing officer skids to a halt, radio already pressed to his mouth. Suspect fleeing in a black Honda Civic, heading east on Grove. Infant in the vehicle. I repeat, infant in the vehicle. I stumble forward, reaching the mouth of the alley in time to see the receding glow of red brake lights vanish onto the main road. Blue police lights streak past me in pursuit, sirens Dopplering into the distance. He's gone. My baby is gone. A wail builds in my chest, tearing out of me in an animal howl. My knees hit the asphalt before I realize my legs have given out. Ma'am, are you hurt? Hands grip my arms, keeping me from crumpling face first onto the cold ground. One of the officers, backup that arrived, steadying me. I can't answer. I'm shaking so badly my teeth chatter. Every fiber of my being is focused on that dark road where my husband vanished with our child. Gone. He got away. The thought rings in my head, and I can barely breathe around it. This isn't over. My little girl is still in danger, out there somewhere in the night, and I have no idea where he's taking her. As another police car roars by, joining the chase, I clamp my hands over my mouth to hold back a scream of pure despair. Please, I whisper through my fingers, rocking on my knees as sobs overtake me. Please, God, bring her back. Don't let him hurt my baby. Someone drapes a blanket around my shoulders. I'm sitting on the curb near my building now, though I don't remember how I got here. My whole body is numb with shock and cold night air. Red and blue lights splash across the apartment facade. Uniformed officers swarm the area, talking into radios, knocking on neighbors' doors for statements. An EMT tries to examine the bruise forming on my jaw, but I push him away weakly. None of that matters. Only Mia matters. A tall, square-jawed police sergeant crouches in front of me. I vaguely register his badge glinting, Sergeant Mills. His voice cuts through the fog in my head. Ma'am, do you know where your husband might be headed? My husband. The words hardly compute. Ryan isn't here as my partner anymore. He's the suspect now. A fugitive with our infant in tow. I don't know. I stutter. My throat feels scraped raw. He doesn't have family nearby. No close friends. I don't understand why he's doing this. My voice pitches up, threatening hysteria again. Sergeant Mills nods, trying to keep me focused. You mentioned you came home from work. Was he supposed to be home watching the baby tonight? Yes, I whisper. I press the heels of my palms against my eyes, trying to think through the panic. He works from home. He was going to watch her until I got back. Everything was normal this morning, I swear. He was fine. We were fine. My last words dissolve into a sob. The sergeant's expression softens. We're going to do everything we can to find your daughter, he says firmly. We have units pursuing his vehicle now. Do you know if your car has GPS or any tracking service? I shake my head. It's an older model, no fancy tracking. I had his phone number. Can't you trace his cell? We're working on that. His phone last pinged a cell tower near the interstate, Sergeant Mills replies. But if he shut it off or left it behind, it'll be harder. We've issued an Amber Alert. Every officer in the city is looking for him. An Amber Alert. The surreal horror of those words being about my own child nearly undoes me. I gulp in ragged breaths, trying to stay upright. Another officer runs up, breathless. Sir, update on the pursuit. They spotted the suspect's vehicle near Highway 16, but lost visual in the traffic. He may have exited around Miller Road. State troopers are joining the search. Lost him. They lost him. A high keening noise slips from my throat. The sergeant dismisses the other officer with a curt nod and turns back to me. We'll find them, he assures, but I catch the flicker of concern in his eyes. My mind reels, hunting for any scrap of information. Miller Road, that's near the old industrial part of town. Why would he go there? Every scenario my frightened mind can conjure is worse than the last. Is Mia still crying for me? Or has she cried herself to exhaustion? Has he hurt her? Would he? The man I married would rather die than harm a hair on her head, but the man I saw tonight was someone else entirely. Suddenly, one of the radios crackles. A dispatcher's voice. All units be advised, suspect cell phone just reconnected briefly near Route 9, heading north. Possible direction toward Greenville. County authorities alerted. Route 9 to Greenville. That's out of the city, toward the rural area where Ryan grew up. My head jerks up. Greenville. His parents have a house there, but they're away on a cruise this week. He knows they're not home. Why would he head that way? My mind sifts frantically through possibilities. There's nothing out there except farmland and my breath catches. No, there is something, a person. He has an old friend in Greenville. I blurt, grasping at straws. It's a lie, but I can't tell the police the real reason he might be headed that direction. Not here, not like this. Sergeant Mills arches an eyebrow. An old friend? Who? Before I can answer, a cell phone rings shrill and sudden. Mills glances at his screen and holds it out to me. It's him. Calling your phone. We had your number forwarded here. My heart leaps into my throat. With trembling fingers, I snatch the phone. Ryan? Ryan. Time seems to stop. For a beat, all I hear is static and the thudding of my pulse. Then his voice comes through, low and strained. Lisa. Just hearing him say my name sends a confusing rush of relief and rage through me. I choke on a sob. Thank God. Ryan, please, please, just tell me Mia's okay. Is she okay? There's a shuffling sound. I hear a faint cry in the background, Mia's cry. It's weak and crackling over the line, but it's her. Mia. I sob, clutching the phone. I hear her. Oh God, please, just bring her home. We can talk, whatever you want. Shut up. His harsh tone jolts me. Listen carefully. I bite down on my lip to stifle my pleas. Sergeant Mills gestures for me to keep him talking, mouthing stay calm. I try to steady my voice, but I'm shaking head to toe. Okay, I manage. I'm listening. You need to get the cops to back off, Ryan says. I can tell he's trying to sound commanding, but his voice wavers. He sounds on edge. Right now? Or I swear I'll drive this car into a river. I'll end this. A spike of terror lodges in my chest. No, don't say that. I cry out. Please, Ryan, we'll back off. Just don't hurt her. You're scaring her. She needs me. She needs a father who actually cares about her, he snaps. Not a liar. Not someone like you. Tears burn down my cheeks. I don't understand. I whisper. Why are you doing this? Just come home. We can fix this if you just come back. He barks a laugh, bitter and broken. Fix this? There's no fixing it, Lisa. I know. My blood runs cold. He knows. The secret I prayed would never see the light of day. He knows. Ryan, my voice shakes. I am so sorry I never told you. I wanted to. You should have told me the truth from the start, he growls. All those nights I stayed up with her, thinking she was our miracle. You let me believe she was mine. A jagged sob tears from my throat. This is it. The ugly truth is spilling out, and I can't stop it. Around me, I dimly notice Sergeant Mills's eyes widen as he pieces together what Ryan's saying. Please, just let me explain, I beg. It wasn't what you think. Don't lie. He roars into the phone, and I flinch. I saw the DNA test, Lisa. I'm not her father. So who is? Huh? Some guy from your office? How long did you think you could make a fool of me? My mouth opens, but no sound comes out. The truth is a stone in my gut, heavy with pain and shame. My free hand clutches the blanket around me, as if it could shield me from his words. He misreads my silence as confirmation. That's what I thought, he says bitterly. You won't even deny it. It wasn't an affair, I whisper, voice trembling. I swear to you it wasn't. I never meant for any of this. You never meant. Ryan's voice cracks, a raw edge of grief in his anger now. Do you think that fixes anything? My life has been a lie for the past year. And Mia? God, every time I look at her now I see it. She's not mine. His last words crumble into a sob. I break down, pressing the phone to my ear like I could reach through it and touch him, calm him. She may not share your blood. I cry. But you're the only father she knows. You changed her diapers. You rocked her to sleep. You. Stop. Just stop. His ragged breaths shudder through the line. I can't think about that, or I'll weaken. And I can't afford to soften, Lisa. Not after what you've done to me. His tone hardens again. I'm not letting you raise her. You don't deserve her. You don't deserve either of us. Ice floods my veins. What are you saying? I whisper. Ryan, please. You'll never see us again. His voice is flat, dead. Take that as mercy. I could have done worse tonight. No. Please. I beg, panic roaring back full force. Don't do this. It's not mercy to take her from her mother. Her mother, he snarls. A mother who lies and keeps secrets? A mother who would rather cover her own shame than protect her family? You're no mother at all to her. His words strike like slaps. I'm openly sobbing now, unable to contain it. My worst fear, that I failed to protect my baby from harm, that my silence put her in danger. It's all coming true. On the edge of my hearing, I notice Mills signaling frantically, likely trying to trace the call. I have to keep him talking a little longer. Where are you? I force the words out, trying to sound calm. Maybe I can meet you. Just me. No police. We can talk about this, please. I'll do anything if you just bring her back to me. A long pause. For a moment, only static and our breathing. When he speaks again, he sounds eerily calm. If you want to do something for us, then disappear. Let us be. That's the only thing you can do. Ryan. The line clicks. He's gone. Ryan? Ryan. I shout into the void, but there's nothing. I let the phone slip from my ear, collapsing forward as Sergeant Mills quickly takes it from my hand. I fold into myself, a howl of despair ripping out of me, so loud it hurts my throat. He hung up. He's not coming back. My baby is still out there, and now he's vowed I'll never find her. Strong arms catch me before I can curl up on the asphalt. The sergeant eases me into a sitting position, keeping me from completely falling apart. I clutch his sleeve, my eyes wild. Did you trace it? Did you get him? I gasp. He nods tightly. They triangulated a location. The call lasted long enough. He's still near Greenville. We'll narrow it down. Through the haze of anguish, a spark of determination flares. Greenville. Maybe he's hiding at that cabin after all. If he's out there, we have a chance. I scrub at my face, wiping snot and tears with trembling hands. I have to hold it together. Falling apart comes later. Right now, Mia needs me. Sarge, we gotta move. One of the officers calls from a squad car. County sheriffs spotted a vehicle near Lake Road that might be him. Lake Road. That leads right to where I feared. I lurch upright, adrenaline surging. I'm coming, I say, voice raw but resolute. Mills holds up a hand. Ma'am, I can't allow that. It's an active pursuit and you're injured. I glare with a ferocity that momentarily startles him. That's my daughter out there. I hiss. I'm not sitting at home knitting while she's in danger. Please. We lock eyes for a tense second. Then he relents, muttering a curse. Stick with me and do exactly as I say. If things go south, you stay in the car. Understood. Understood. I nod vigorously. The faintest glimmer of hope ignites in my chest. We have a lead. I might be racing toward the most terrifying confrontation of my life, but I'll face the devil himself if it means saving my baby. Mills guides me to an unmarked police SUV and helps me into the passenger seat. Tires squeal as we peel out, joining a convoy of police vehicles tearing off into the night. As the city lights blur by, I clutch the blanket around me and whisper a silent promise. Hold on, baby. Mommy's coming. I stare out the window as the city lights give way to dark stretches of highway. Inside the speeding police SUV, silence hangs heavy, broken only by the hiss of the tires on wet asphalt and the crackle of the radio. Sergeant Mills drives with grim focus. Another officer sits in the back seat, updating units on our location. I cradle my aching shoulder with one hand, still wrapped in the thin blanket. My mind is a storm of guilt and fear. He knows. The secret I've carried for over a year, it's out. And I saw what knowing did to him. I have to tell someone the rest, if it can help save my baby. Taking a shaky breath, I break the silence. Sergeant, there's something you need to know. My voice is barely audible over the hum of the engine. He glances at me. Go ahead. When he said, about the baby not being his, I pause, throat tightening. This is so hard to say, but I force it out. He wasn't wrong. Mia isn't biologically his. The officer in the back goes still. Mills keeps his eyes on the road, but I see his jaw clench. I gathered that much from his side of the call. He says carefully. Is there someone your husband suspects? A tear slips down my cheek. He thinks I had an affair. With someone from my office. My stomach churns with nausea. He asked who the father is. I never told him. I never told anyone. Mills's tone softens. Told them what? My lips tremble. That I was raped, I whisper. The word feels both relieving and horrifying to say out loud. One night, about 2 months before I found out I was pregnant, it was a coworker. We were out for drinks after a project success. I thought I could trust him to give me a ride home. I break off, squeezing my eyes shut. The dark car suddenly feels stifling. The sergeant exhales slowly. I'm sorry, he says, and I hear genuine compassion under the professional cadence. You don't have to give details right now, but this coworker, is he the biological father? I swallow back a wave of bile. I always feared he might be. I prayed so hard that the baby was Ryan's. I convinced myself she was. I never wanted to believe that monster could be her father. My voice cracks on the word. Did you ever report what happened? The officer in back asks gently. I shake my head, shame burning. No. I was scared and guilty. We'd both had some drinks. I froze. And then I thought, if I told Ryan, he might. I gesture helplessly at the nightmare we're living now. I couldn't bear to lose him, or to have anyone look at my child like she was tainted. My breath shudders out. So I kept quiet. And when Mia was born, she looked like me, not him, and he never questioned. Until, I guess, he did. He must have gotten a DNA test without telling me. My heart twists imagining him opening that envelope. The devastation he must have felt. Mills's voice is firm, pulling me out of my spiraling thoughts. Listen, what happened to you was not your fault. He glances over, catching my eyes to drive the point home. The blame is on that coworker and, to be frank, your husband's actions tonight. Not on you. I nod weakly, but in my heart I still feel the crushing guilt. Not my fault, and yet my silence lit the fuse that led to this explosion. What's the coworker's name? Mills asks, already reaching for his radio. Tyler. Tyler Cummings. I reply, the name tasting like bile. He works in my department. Ryan always hated him. He thought Tyler was too flirty with me. He suspected him even before anything happened. I see the sergeant's eyes harden. If your husband thinks Tyler is the father, he might try to find him. I nod, fear spiking anew. Tyler lives in Greenfield Gardens. That's a subdivision off Route 9. My heart lurches. Route 9, where Ryan was heading. Could he be going after Tyler right now? The officer in back speaks into his comm, dispatch. Be advised possible suspect target is Tyler Cummings. Resides Greenfield Gardens off Route 9. Request local PD to check that address. My nails dig into my palms. If Ryan confronts him, Ryan's unstable, but Tyler is dangerous. He might hurt Mia or Ryan to cover up what he did. Mills's hands tighten on the wheel. The SUV accelerates, siren wailing into the night. We'll get there, he assures me. We're only 10 minutes out. County sheriffs are on Route 2. I nod, rocking slightly with the movement of the car. Outside, pine trees and dark fields blur past. The rush of adrenaline that carried me this far begins to ebb, replaced by cold, hollow terror of what might await us. I cradle my head in my hands. My baby is caught in the middle of a collision of evils. The man who violated me and the man driven mad by that violation. And it's all crashing together tonight. Lisa, Mills says quietly over the rush of wind and siren. We'll handle the coworker. Focus on talking to your husband when we arrive. You might be the only one who can get through to him. But for your safety, please wait for my signal before you approach. I wipe my tears, steeling myself. I understand. We race off the highway onto a rural exit. A cluster of lights emerges ahead. Houses. My heart rate kicks up. Greenfield Gardens, the other officer says. Sheriff unit reports suspect's vehicle spotted on Pine Drive, the same street as the target address. My breath catches. That's Tyler's street. He's there, I whisper. A minute later, we turn onto a quiet residential road lined with dark two-story houses. At the far end, I see the pulsing glow of police lights and the silhouette of a car across a front lawn. It looks like it crashed into a lamppost. It's our Honda. The hood is crumpled and steam rises from the radiator. Mills kills our headlights as we roll to a stop behind a sheriff's cruiser. We approach on foot from here, he instructs in a low voice. I'm already unbuckling, heart in my throat. I'm coming with you. He nods, not arguing this time. The three of us exit the SUV. The night air here is deathly still, aside from the faint crackle of police radios. I spot a cluster of law enforcement taking cover behind a low brick wall across the street, eyes on a particular house. A deputy quickly intercepts us. Suspect is inside number 22, Pine Drive, the deputy whispers to Mills. Broke in through the front. Homeowner is inside, male, late 30s, possibly armed. Suspect is armed with a kitchen knife, holding the baby. They're in the living room by the big window. We have visual, but no clear shot without risking the kid. At the mention of knife and the kid, my knees nearly buckle. I strain to see past the deputy. There, Tyler's house, lights on, curtains ripped partly off a front window. Through the glass, I can make out movement. Two figures. One is Ryan, pacing with something in his arms. Mia? Opposite him, a man I recognize as Tyler stands near the sofa, hands partially raised like he's trying to reason with my husband. White-hot anger flashes through me at the sight of Tyler in the flesh. Even from here I can see his face is bruised and bleeding. Looks like Ryan got some hits in. Good, I find myself thinking coldly. But Ryan is waving the knife wildly in his right hand as he yells at Tyler. I can't hear through the glass, but I don't need to. His rage is evident in every line of his body. My baby is in his other arm, pressed to his chest. She's eerily quiet, maybe in shock or too scared to make a sound. That image, my little girl held hostage in the middle of this nightmare, galvanizes me. Mia's in there. I say, voice fierce despite the tears threatening to choke me. We see her, Mills replies. He signals to other officers to hold position. We're going to try talking first. The house phone went unanswered, but now that we're here, maybe he'll listen. He'll listen to me, I insist. The sergeant meets my eyes. You sure about this? He's blamed you for all of this tonight. I square my shoulders, even as they tremble. I'm sure. He won't hurt Mia if I'm right there. He's angry at me, but he loves her. I have to believe that will make him pause. Mills considers a half second, then nods. All right, but stay behind me until I get his attention. And if he reacts badly, you get back behind cover, understood? Understood. I wipe sweat from my palms onto my pants. My heart is in my throat as we approach the front yard of the house. Hands raised to show we're not holding weapons. I have none anyway. The other cops stay back, guns at the ready in case things go south. We're about 20 feet from the broken front door. I can hear Ryan shouting now. Ruin my life? You think I won't do it? After what you did to her? To us. Tyler's voice comes, shaky, pleading. Man, just put the knife down. We can talk this out. I swear I didn't. Shut up. Ryan roars. You don't get to talk. You're going to pay for what you did. My stomach clenches. I step out from behind the sergeant, unable to wait any longer. Ryan, I call out, pouring every ounce of strength into my voice. Ryan, I'm here. Through the busted doorway, I see my husband whirl toward the sound of my voice. His eyes are wild, hair disheveled, clothes streaked with dirt and blood. When he sees me on the lawn, his face crumples between fury and anguish. Lisa, he breathes. For an instant, his grip on the knife falters. Sergeant Mills speaks up loudly, calm and authoritative. Ryan, this is Sergeant Mills with the police. We just want everyone to walk out of here safe. Especially your baby. I promise you, we all want what's best for Mia. Don't act like you care about my daughter, Ryan spits, though he holds Mia closer protectively even as he brandishes the blade in our direction. None of you care. You just want to lock me up and take her away. I step forward a little, hands out pleadingly. No one wants to hurt you, Ryan. I certainly don't. I'm sorry it came to this. But please, let's not hurt Mia. She needs her daddy. She needs both of us. His face contorts, tears glistening. You don't get to say what she needs. Not after what you did. He nods toward Tyler, who stands pale and shaking by the couch. Did you tell the cops what he did? Huh? Or are you still protecting your office boyfriend? Tyler opens his mouth, the slimy coward. I don't know what she told you, but she wanted it. Tyler Cummings. I scream, startling everyone. The pent-up fury of a year ignites in me. You shut your disgusting mouth. He flinches and falls silent, eyes darting between the knife in Ryan's hand and the fury in mine. I focus back on my husband, voice shaking but loud. Ryan, look at me. I never had an affair. I never, ever wanted to be with him. My voice breaks. He hurt me. That night. I said no. I tried to fight. And he didn't stop. Ryan's eyes widen, the knife lowering an inch. Tyler starts to shake his head, backing away, but Ryan whips toward him with a snarl. You raped her, he growls, voice low and lethal. Tyler stumbles back against an armchair, hands raised. It was a mistake. We were drunk, Tyler babbles, desperation overtaking his denial. She didn't. I thought she liked it. A guttural shout tears from Ryan's throat. You raped my wife. Before anyone can stop him, Ryan lunges forward, swinging the knife. Tyler yelps and dives aside. The blade slashes across his upper arm. He cries out, clutching the wound as blood seeps through his fingers. Mia starts wailing at the sudden commotion. The sound galvanizes me. Ryan, stop! I scream, rushing toward the doorway. Mills moves with me, weapon drawn but pointed down, trying to cover me. Inside, Ryan stands over Tyler, who cowers on the floor by the coffee table. My husband's chest heaves with righteous fury. For a terrifying second, I think he might stab Tyler again, maybe worse. But then he looks at the blood on the knife, as if surprised by it. His gaze shifts to Mia, who is screaming now in his arm, tiny face red and terrified. Ryan blinks, a sob wrenching from him as reality crashes in. It's okay. Baby, Daddy's here. He murmurs brokenly to her, dropping the knife with a clatter. He sways on his feet, utterly spent. In a flash I'm at his side, gently taking Mia from his arms. He lets me, resistance completely gone. As soon as my daughter is in my embrace, I back away a couple steps, clutching her tight. She bawls into my shoulder, and I bury my face against her soft hair, overcome with relief. Behind me, officers rush in. 2 deputies seize the bleeding Tyler and drag him out of reach, yelling for medics. Mills and another officer move in on Ryan, who is sunk to his knees on the living room floor, hands limp at his sides. He doesn't fight as they pull his arms behind him and handcuff him. He just stares at me holding Mia, tears streaming down his face. I'm sorry, he chokes out, voice shattered. I'm so sorry. My own tears flow freely. I nod at him, a world of things communicated in that single gesture. He tried to destroy our family tonight, but he was also destroyed by lies and secrets. Some his, some mine, some Tyler's. There's sorrow and love and anger all tangled in my heart. One of the officers gently touches my elbow. Ma'am, let's get you and your baby looked at. The ambulance is right outside. I press a kiss to Mia's hot cheek, swaying with her to calm her cries. Shoo, mommy's got you, I whisper. To Ryan, I manage a trembling whisper, we're safe now. I'm not even sure he hears me over the chaos. As they lead him past me, our eyes meet. In his I see immeasurable regret and heartbreak. Then he's gone, escorted out in cuffs into the flashing lights beyond. I hold my daughter close and step out onto the porch, the cool air washing over my feverish skin. It's over. God, it's finally over. 2 weeks later, I stand at the large window of my parents' house with a cup of lukewarm tea in hand, watching the autumn leaves drift across the yard. Inside, the morning light slants gently through the living room. It's calm, deceptively normal. Behind me, I hear soft cooing. I turn to see Mia on the floor on a blanket, surrounded by a fortress of pillows and a scattering of colorful toys. She's gotten more animated in the past days, back to babbling and reaching for things, even offering shy smiles. Resilient, just like I pray I can be. I set my tea down and kneel beside her. Good morning, sunshine, I whisper, smoothing a downy curl from her forehead. She giggles and grabs clumsily for my fingers. My heart swells and aches at the same time. There are purple shadows under my eyes that no amount of makeup can hide. Sleep doesn't come easy. When it does, the nightmares jolt me awake. Images of balconies and knives and my baby slipping from my grasp. But every time, I calm myself with the same ritual. I go to Mia's crib, lay a hand on her warm back, and feel the rise and fall of her breathing. Proof that she's here, alive and safe. Safe, I murmur now, as I lift her into my arms. I've repeated that word to myself 1,000 times since that awful night. Maybe one day I'll believe it. We're living with my parents for now. I couldn't bear to return to our apartment, not after what happened there. My mom and dad were more than happy to take us in, fussing over Mia and refusing to let me blame myself whenever I lapse into apologies. And I do apologize a lot. To them, to my sister, in my prayers at night. The hardest one was when I finally sat down and wrote a letter to Ryan. I haven't sent it yet. I don't even know if I will. But writing it was part of the therapy homework I've been assigned. Yes, therapy. A word I used to think was for other people before trauma crashed into my world. Now I have an appointment twice a week. Once for me, and once with a family therapist who will eventually help reintroduce Mia to her father, if and when that's possible. I gently bounce Mia on my hip, and she squeals, a happy sound that makes me smile despite everything. In the kitchen, my mom is humming as she cooks oatmeal. The smell of cinnamon wafts through the house. A normal morning during what is anything but a normal time. The doorbell rings, startling me. Mia flinches, and I rub her back soothingly. It's okay, baby. I walk to the front door and peek through the side light. It's Detective, no, Sergeant, Mills, in plain clothes and holding a manila envelope. I let him in with a grateful smile. He's been by a few times to update me on the legal proceedings. And on Tyler. Good morning, Lisa, he greets softly. He gives Mia a little wave, and she hides her face in my shoulder. Sorry to drop in unannounced. How are you two holding up? We're taking it day by day, I say, rocking Mia gently. Come in. Want some tea or something? My mom made oatmeal, if you're hungry. I'm fine, thank you. He removes his cap and steps inside. There's a kind of paternal warmth in his eyes that puts me at ease. I suspect he has kids of his own. We sit on the couch. Mills sets the envelope on the coffee table. I wanted to let you know that Tyler Cummings was formally charged this week, he says. 2 counts. 1 for sexual assault and 1 for attempted assault, because he lunged at you with that knife when we were there. I nod, tightening my hold on Mia. The memory of Tyler sneering, she wanted it, still boils my blood. Is he out on bail? No. Denied. Mills replies, a satisfied edge in his voice. He's not going anywhere. The evidence in your case is strong. The hospital exam from the night you were attacked. You might not have filed a report then, but you did see a doctor for your injuries, and those records corroborate your story. Plus the DNA tests and your testimony. The DA is confident. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. A weight lifts slightly off my shoulders. Thank God, I whisper. Knowing Tyler is behind bars, and likely will be for a long time, helps me sleep a little easier. Mills clears his throat gently. As for your husband, Ryan had his first hearing yesterday. My stomach clenches. I've been trying to keep track of Ryan's case too, but it's complicated. I know. I wanted to go, but my family and therapist thought it was best I wait. I think that was wise, he nods. It was mostly procedural. Given the circumstances, his lawyer is pushing for a psychiatric evaluation. From what I hear, he's cooperating fully and showing a lot of remorse. My eyes sting with fresh tears. That doesn't surprise me. The morning after everything happened, I learned that Ryan had been sobbing in his jail cell, asking if Mia was okay over and over. In my own hospital bed that morning, as they treated my bruises, I wept for him almost as much as for myself. It's possible to love someone, to hate what they did, and to pity them all at once. My emotions around Ryan are a tangled knot I haven't begun to untangle. I wrote him a letter, I admit quietly. I haven't sent it, but I do want him to know I don't hate him. I can't ever forget what he did, and I don't know if I can forgive it. But I also know I'm partly to blame for keeping him in the dark. Careful, Mills says gently. He made his choices. Many people face betrayal or pain and don't respond by endangering a child. He's right. I nod, wiping a tear away quickly as Mia squirms. How long do you think? Until there's a trial or something? It may not go to trial, he says. If he's found mentally unstable at the time, they might negotiate a plea, possibly time in a psychiatric facility. Either way, you have a protective order in case he does get out on bail. But frankly, I doubt he's even trying for bail. I bite my lip, heart heavy. Has he asked about us? How we are? Mills offers a small smile. He asks the guards about Mia's well-being every day, I'm told. I nod, looking down at my baby girl. Her eyes, so much like mine, gaze back up as if sensing the somber mood. I kiss her chubby cheek. We'll be okay. I whisper to her, and to myself. The sergeant taps the envelope. I almost forgot, this is for you. What is it? Your husband's personal effects that were released, including something I thought you'd want sooner rather than later. Mills slides out a familiar hardcover book from the envelope. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, lullabies for baby. I recognize it immediately. It's the one Ryan always read and sang to Mia. I'd packed it in the diaper bag that was in our car. The corner is a bit singed, likely from the engine smoking after the crash, but the book survived. My throat tightens as I take it. When I open the cover, I see Ryan's handwriting on the inside page. He'd inscribed it the week after she was born. To my precious Mia, may you always know how loved you are, little star. Love, Daddy. A tear drips onto the page, blurring the ink of Daddy. I brush it away and close the book, holding it to my chest. Thank you, I manage to say. Mills stands. I'll leave you too. If you need anything, updates, resources, you call me, all right? I will. I walk him to the door. And, thank you. For everything. He gives a modest nod. Just doing my job. Take care of yourself, Lisa. You're doing good. With a final kind smile at Mia, he heads out. I close the door and exhale. My heart feels heavy yet hopeful holding this book, this tangible piece of the man Ryan was, and maybe could be again, someday, with help. Mia babbles, patting the cover of the book curiously. I carry her over to the rocking chair by the window and settle in. Should we read? I ask softly. She nestles against me, tiny fist grasping my shirt. I open to a familiar lullaby and begin to sing quietly. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Mia's eyelids flutter at the sound of the melody her father used to hum to her nightly. Her warm weight relaxes in my arms as the tension of the morning melts away. By the second verse, she's asleep. I gaze down at her innocent face, and a tear slips down my cheek. This time a tear of gratitude. We were battered by the storm, but we're still here. We have a chance to heal. I press my lips to her forehead. We both will. I promise her and myself. Outside the window, the late autumn sun breaks through the clouds at last, bathing us in gentle light. The long night is over, and a new day is beginning for me and my daughter. Well, that's the big ending. If you're still here, you've got impressive patience. Might as well subscribe. We're both in too deep now.